Question 133. Select the correct areas where the Trusted Advisor service can provide insight into an AWS account. And the options are A. Security, fault tolerance, high availability, connectivity, and service limits. B. Security, access control, high availability, performance, and service limits. C. Performance, cost optimization, security, fault tolerance, and service limits. D. Performance, cost optimization, access control, connectivity, and service limits. And the correct answer is option C. Performance, cost optimization, security, fault tolerance, and service limits. Explanation. AWS Trusted Advisor provides recommendations that help you follow AWS best practices. Trusted Advisor evaluates your account by using checks. These checks identify ways to optimize your AWS infrastructure, improve security and performance, reduce cost, and monitor service quotas. You can then follow the check recommendations to optimize your services and resources. AWS Basic Support and AWS Developer Support customers can access core security checks and all checks for service quotas. AWS Business Support and AWS Enterprise Support customers can access all checks, including cost optimization, security, fault tolerance, performance, and service quotas. For a complete list of checks and descriptions, see the Trusted Advisor Best Practices. Next question. What AWS service is most suitable for a fully managed data warehouse? And the options are A. Amazon Aurora, B. Amazon Redshift, C. Amazon CloudWatch, D. Amazon Athena. And the correct answer is option B. Amazon Redshift. Explanation. Amazon Redshift is a fully managed petabyte-scale data warehouse service in the AWS cloud. An Amazon Redshift data warehouse is a collection of computing resources called nodes, which are organized into a group called a cluster. Option A is incorrect. Amazon Aurora is a relational database management system built for the cloud with full MySQL and PostgreSQL compatibility. Option C is incorrect. Amazon CloudWatch is used to monitor AWS resources, collect metrics, configure alarms, etc. Option D is incorrect. Amazon Athena is used to query data and analyze big data in S3. Next question. How would you describe the principle of least privilege? Please select the correct answer from the below options. And the options are A. All users should have the same baseline permissions granted to them to use basic AWS services. B. Users should submit all access requests in written form so that there is a paper trail of who needs access to different AWS resources. C. Users should always have a little more permission than they need. D. Users should be granted permission to access only resources they need to do their assigned job. And the correct answer is option D. Users should be granted permission to access only resources they need to do their assigned job. Explanation. The principle of least privilege, also called least privilege access, is the concept that a user should only have access to what they absolutely need in order to perform their responsibilities, and no more. The more a given user had access to, the greater the negative impact if their account is compromised or if they become an insider threat. Option A, B, C are incorrect. The principle of least privilege would not be followed in these cases. Next question. Which support plan should be selected to have an AWS Technical Account Manager proactively monitor a business-critical application on AWS? And the options are A. Business Plan, B. Developer Plan, C. Enterprise On-Ramp Plan, D. Enterprise Plan. And the correct answer is option D. Enterprise Plan. Explanation. Enterprise Plan is the recommended support plan for customers having a business-critical application hosted on AWS Cloud. With this support plan, a technical account manager is assigned to work with the customer, who proactively monitors business-critical applications as well as assist in optimization of application. Technical Account Manager is also responsible for coordinating access to AWS programs and getting technical assistance from AWS experts. This particular requirement cannot be met by other plans. Hence, all other options are incorrect. Option A is incorrect, as Business Plan is a suggested plan for customers having a production application hosted on AWS Cloud. In this support plan, no Technical Account Manager is assigned. Option B is incorrect, as the Developer Plan is a basic plan if the customer is using AWS Cloud resources for test purposes. In this support plan, no Technical Account Manager is assigned. Option C is incorrect, as Enterprise On-Ramp Plan supports business-critical applications hosted on AWS Cloud. But in this plan, the assigned Technical Account Manager does not proactively monitor resources hosted on AWS Cloud. Technical Account Manager is only responsible for coordinating access to AWS programs and getting technical assistance from AWS experts. Next question. Which of the following components within an AWS region provides low latency redundant connectivity? And the options are A. Availability zones, B. Edge location, C. Data centers, D. Regional cache. And the correct answer is option A. Availability zones. Explanation. Regions consist of two or more availability zones within a specific geographical area. These availability zones are physically isolated and connected via a low latency redundant link. Option B is incorrect. Edge locations are used by CloudFront CDN to deliver content to users with low latency. Option C is incorrect. Logical data center within each region is called an availability zones instead of a data center. Option D is incorrect. Regional caches are used by CloudFront, which sit between edge locations and origin servers, providing additional caching. Next question. What is the most appropriate routing policy to provide optimal performance to global users who access a static website hosted on Amazon S3 buckets across multiple regions? And the options are A. Use route 53 weighted routing policy, B. Use route 53 latency routing policy, C. Use route 53 geo-proximity routing policy, D. Use route 53 geolocation routing policy. And the correct answer is option B. Use route 53 latency routing policy. Explanation. Route 53 latency routing policy can be used to provide the least latency when resources are deployed in multiple regions. This policy route users' requests to the nearest resource based upon latency. Option A is incorrect, as route 53 weighted routing policy is used to distribute requests between multiple resources based upon weight of each. Option C is incorrect, as route 53 geo-proximity routing policy can be used to route traffic based upon the location of the resource. Option D is incorrect, as route 53 geolocation routing policy can be used to route traffic based upon user location. Next question. Which of the following services can be utilized to optimize performance for global users when transferring large amounts of data to an Amazon S3 bucket in a region? And the options are A. Enable S3 transfer acceleration on Amazon S3 bucket, B. Use Amazon CloudFront put or post commands, C. Use multi-part upload, D. Use Amazon Elastic Cache. And the correct answer is option A. Enable S3 transfer acceleration on Amazon S3 bucket. Explanation. S3 transfer acceleration can optimize performance for data transfer between users and objects in Amazon S3 bucket. Transfer acceleration uses CloudFront edge location to provide accelerated data transfer to users. Option B is incorrect, as Amazon CloudFront put or post commands can be used for small-sized objects, but for large-sized data objects, S3 transfer acceleration provides better performance. Option C is incorrect, as users should use multi-part uploads for all data objects exceeding 100 megabytes, but for better performance, S3 transfer acceleration should be enabled. Option D is incorrect, as for global users accessing S3 bucket, S3 transfer acceleration is a better choice. Next question. According to the AWS shared responsibility model, which of the following is not a shared responsibility between AWS and the customer? Select two options. And the options are A. Configuration management, B. Service and communication protection, C. Patch management, D. IAM user management, E. Training and awareness. And the correct answer is option B. Service and communication protection, and D. IAM user management. Explanation. Shared controls are applicable in both the infrastructure and customer layers, but in completely separate context. Under shared controls, AWS provides requirements for infrastructure, while customers must provide their own control implementation for the AWS services that they use. Option A is incorrect, since configuration management has shared controls. AWS is responsible for configuring infrastructure devices, while the customer is responsible for configuring their guest OS and applications. Option B is correct, since services communication may be subject to data zoning and protection within specific security environments. This is primarily the responsibility of the customer, and AWS does not play any role in this. This may take the form of configuring NACLs, security groups, data encryption, etc. Option C is incorrect, since AWS is responsible for detecting and patching flaws within the infrastructure, while the customer is responsible for patching their guest OS and applications. Option D is correct, since IAM and user management refers to security in the cloud and are best managed by the customer. Option E is incorrect, since AWS trains its own employees, while customers need to train their own employees. Next question. Which of the following services can be used to automate software deployments on a large number of Amazon EC2 instance and on-premise servers? And the options are A. AWS Code Pipeline, B. AWS Cloud Formation, C. AWS Code Deploy, D. AWS Config. And the correct answer is option C. AWS Code Deploy. Explanation. AWS Code Deploy is a managed service that automates software deployment on a large scale to EC2 instances and on-premise servers. Option A is incorrect, as AWS Code Pipeline is a managed service for automation of delivery pipeline for application updates. Option B is incorrect, as AWS Cloud Formation is used to automate infrastructure provisioning and updates. Option D is incorrect, as AWS Config is used to audit configurations of AWS resources. Next question. Which of the following AWS Managed Relational Database Service provides processing power up to 5 times faster than a traditional of MySQL database? And the options are A. MongoDB, B. Aurora, C. PostgreSQL, D. DynamoDB. And the correct answer is option B. Aurora. Explanation. Amazon Aurora is a fully managed MySQL and PostgreSQL compatible relational database engine. It combines the speed and reliability of high-end commercial databases with the simplicity and cost-effectiveness of open-source databases. It delivers up to 5 times the throughput of MySQL and up to 3 times the throughput of PostgreSQL without requiring changes to most of your existing applications. Option A and D are incorrect. MongoDB and Amazon DynamoDB are two of the most popular options for NoSQL databases. The question is asking for a relational database solution. Option C is incorrect. PostgreSQL doesn't support MySQL engine. Next question. Which of the following activities are within the scope of AWS support? Select two options. And the options are A. Troubleshooting API issues, B. Code deployment, C. Debugging custom software, D. Third-party application configuration on AWS resources. And the correct answer is option A. troubleshooting API issues, and D. Third-party application configuration on AWS resources. Explanation. As a part of AWS support, following activities are performed. Number 1. Queries regarding all AWS services and features. Number 2. Best practices to integrate, deploy, and manage applications in AWS Cloud. Number 3. Troubleshooting API and SDK issues. Number 4. Troubleshooting operational issues. Number 5. Issues related to any AWS tools. Number 6. Problems detected by EC2 health checks. Number 7. Third-party application configuration on AWS resources and products. Option B is incorrect, as code deployment is not in the scope of AWS support. This needs to be taken care of by the customer. Option C is incorrect, as debugging customer software is not in the scope of AWS support. This needs to be taken care of by the customer. Option E is incorrect, as database query tuning is not in the scope of AWS support. This needs to be taken care of by the customer. Next question. What AWS service helps with governance, compliance, and risk auditing? And the options are A. AWS CloudFront, B. AWS CloudTrail, C. AWS CloudWatch, D. AWS CloudFormation. And the correct answer is option B, AWS CloudTrail. Explanation. AWS CloudTrail is a service that enables governance, compliance, operational auditing, and risk auditing of your AWS account. With CloudTrail, you can log, continuously monitor, and retain account activity related to actions across your AWS infrastructure. CloudTrail provides the event history of your AWS account activity, including actions taken through the AWS Management Console, AWS SDKs, command line tools, and other AWS services. This event history simplifies security analysis, resource change tracking, and troubleshooting. Option A is incorrect. Amazon CloudFront is a content delivery network service built for high performance, security, and developer convenience. Option C is incorrect. AWS CloudWatch collects monitoring and operational data in the form of logs, metrics, and events and visualizes it using automated dashboards, so you can get a unified view of your AWS resources, applications, and services that run on AWS and on-premises. Option D is incorrect. CloudFormation automates provisioning and updating your infrastructure in a safe and controlled manner. Next question. When using on-demand EC2 instances, which of the following statements is false in terms of how they are priced? And the options are A. You pay no upfront cost for the instance. B. You are charged per second based on the hourly rate. C. You have to pay the termination fees if you terminate the instance. D. You pay for as much as you use. And the correct answer is option C. You have to pay the termination fees if you terminate the instance. Explanation. You don't need to pay any termination fees when it comes to EC2 instances. For more information on AWS EC2 on-demand pricing, option A is incorrect. EC2 on-demand instances doesn't need upfront cost. Option B is incorrect. This statement is correct. On-demand instances will be charged per second basis. Option D is incorrect. This statement is correct. On-demand pricing depends on the users. Next question. A website experienced a spike in traffic during certain holiday seasons. During the holiday season, traffic increases by 20%. Therefore, servers need to be added to handle the increased traffic, which mostly becomes idle after the season. Which benefits can you expect from migrating your application to the AWS cloud in this scenario? And the options are A. You can go global in minutes. B. You can increase the speed and agility of the website. C. You do not need to maintain the servers in cloud. D. You can save on cost due to the elastic nature of the cloud. And the correct answer is option D. You can save on cost due to the elastic nature of the cloud. Explanation. The question explained that traffic increased every year, resulting in additional servers. It adds to the cost of maintaining servers that may not be necessary all other times of the year. As a result of the elastic nature of the cloud, you can directly reap cost benefits by using a pay-as-you-go model and dynamically scaling out the resources when required. Using the cloud will have a direct impact on my cost of purchasing new servers each year to support the dynamic increase in load. Option A is incorrect. Although going global is an advantage of using the cloud due to the availability of multiple reasons, it does not account for our scenario. Option B is incorrect. The speed and agility of a website depend on various factors like application, architecture or design, application communication, etc. Although a cloud can provide a lot of hosting methodologies like static web hosting using S3, using a CDN like CloudFront for performance improvement, it does not account for in our scenario. Option C is incorrect. This is not the best advantage that can be achieved in this scenario. You still need to maintain the servers active in cloud. Thank you for watching this video. Buy our AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner CLF-C01 premium questions with 50% off. Check link in the description.